I've become more of a confident person and more happy, and so I can write happier songs.
Your dad used to be a drummer in a band. What band was he in?
Who's my dad?
Yeah.
No, my dad was never a drummer.
No, he wasn't a drummer?
A keyboard player.
Keyboard player.
Yeah, he wasn't in any famous bands though.
Was it a good band?
Yeah, they were good. They played every day or every week in my house. So when I was a kid, I used to hate music because I could never get to sleep because my dad would always be playing with his band. And then I'd wake up the next morning and it would smell like beer. But then I guess when I got old enough, I started to really enjoy it. And
what songs did they play? Did they play their own songs or?
No, they played a lot of cover songs, a lot of rock and roll, 60s stuff like that, 70s. But you know, a lot of the classic stuff, like anything from, you know, Beatles, CCR, Elton John, you know, Rolling Stones, just all classic, great rock.
And he even had a guitar lying around over there.
Yeah, he had everything. I was lucky because growing up we had every instrument. We had drums and you know, piano and guitars and everything. So I could really just go down and pick up any instrument and play whenever I wanted to.
And when did you actually start playing? Do you still recall?
Well, the first thing I learned to play was drums, and I hated it. I hated it wasn't a very musical instrument, so it was more about rhythm and technique, and it was boring. I didn't like it, so I quit and started playing guitar.
What age were you then?
Drums, I was probably around 12 years old, and then guitar I probably picked up around 14.
First song you could play, do you still recall?
First song on guitar?
Yeah.
Was a song called Fast Cars from Tracy Chapman. Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acoustic song, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
How come this song?
I was at a friend's house and he had a guitar, and the song came on the radio or something. I just picked up the guitar and kind of learned how to play it. And that's all I could play, so every time I went to my friends, they would be like, play Fast Cars. So I'd play Fast Cars on the guitar. And that was my claim to fame when I was 14, is I could play. I was the only guy that anyone knew that could play something on the guitar.
Okay, and
that was it.
And what could you play 1 year later? What song? Next claim to fame?
Well, then I got into Led Zeppelin and The Doors, and I learned how to play every Led Zeppelin song. And I got into all the Van Halen and all that kind of stuff.
But if you learn to play Led Zeppelin, it's also weird tuning, I guess, is it?
Some of it is. Some of the stuff Jimmy Page does is some open tunings and stuff, but you know, the typical Stairway to Heaven, a lot of stuff off Led Zeppelin 4 or Led Zeppelin 2 that I learned, like Whole Lot of Love. That stuff's all standard tuning.
And do you still recall your first own written song?
The first song I ever wrote was a song I wrote with my sister, like when we were probably 8 years old or something. There's a song I wrote called Nancy's Affair, and it was a song about this soap opera lady having an affair. I remember I recorded it on this tape cassette thing. Me and my sister did it, but that was the first song I ever wrote. I remember it was pretty catchy. I was probably about 8, I think.
And well, but you didn't play an instrument then, so you
I was just sang.
Do you still know the song?
No, yeah, but I'm not singing it.
No, it's okay.
No.
But then the actual first guitar song that you wrote, do you still recall?
The first guitar song I wrote, I can't remember what it was called. It was just instrumental. I wrote something. It was like kind of like a Baroque, classical song, and I played it for my dad. My dad was like, "We got to record that." So we went downstairs and recorded it. And I don't remember what it was called, but it was exciting because then I started getting into recording my own stuff. And that's when I started enjoying writing stuff. I figured out that, I don't have to play cover songs anymore. I can just write my own tunes.
And is there, for you, maybe one song you say, that was actually the first song I was really proud of, lyric-wise, melody-wise, and song structure-wise?
I don't know. I mean, a song I wrote really early on was a song that we still play live. Is a song called The Last Song. I wrote it a long time ago. And it used to be called Theory of a Deadman, actually. That was where we got our name from. I wrote that when I was a teenager. And it was about a guy who was thinking about committing suicide, And so the song is about all the things there was to live for, almost like a list of the things he was going to miss if he died. And that was the Theory of a Deadman, and that was, I think, a song that I was really proud of writing. I really thought it was a really sad song, and it wasn't one of the first songs I wrote, but something I was proud of.